What's up, my friends? Mr. Gallows, of course. Welcome back to another vlog. Surprise, surprise, today we're going to be talking about politics again. But today I wanted to talk about a very, very hot button issue, a very important issue, a very touchy issue for the United States right now. And once again, it's just, I need to point some things out that people are not seeing, some other angles of the discussion, stuff like that, some points that need to be made about the situation that's going on at the border right now. With the kids being separated from the parents and the people in cages and all that stuff. And like I do before every video, I have to reiterate many, many times, I am not a follower of politics. I am not a Republican, I am not a Democrat, I am not anything. I don't follow the world of politics, I'm an outside observer. That's why I do these vlogs, to show people the alternative views, like the regular civilian view of things, I guess you could say. But there's a lot of things that people don't understand about what's going on at the border with the people being separated from their parents, the people in cages and stuff like that. And I was just watching a news program the other day where this guy was saying, they were asking why there isn't such more of an outcry from the United States about the kids at the border and stuff like that. And I heard this news correspondent say, there's not an outcry right now because they're not white kids. And I just kind of thought to myself, I was like, wow, what a narrow-minded thing to say. I think you meant to say the reason why people care about the situation is because they're not white. It's like, this is the what are we, white nationalists? This is the United States of America, this is the mixing pot, this is the melting pot of the world. We care about other people and other races and nationalities, ethnicities. This is the United States. That's what we built ourselves on. Do you see what the news does? How they paint the United States as white nationalists and racist? Look, nobody's saying that, racism doesn't exist in this country, that there aren't white nationalists in this country. There are, right? But they're a very small demographic. It's the news, it's you in the news that blows it up into this huge thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we are not white nationalists, we're not racist, this is the mixing pot of the world. And this is the thing, this is the second point of this argument here. He was asking why there's not more of an outcry. Well, from my perspective, why there's not more of an outcry in America for the kids at the border is because you guys have proven in the past that you don't care. And what do I mean by that? Well, there's a couple of points to be made here too. First of all, have people stopped coming across the border? Obama built those cages. And again, I'm not placing blame, I'm not taking sides, right? I'm just pointing out facts. Obama built the cages. Immigrants haven't stopped coming across the border. Now, Trump separated them from their families and is putting them in poorer conditions than they were. He doesn't need to do that. But again, nobody's saying Trump is a good person, right? So Trump did that. That doesn't need to be done. He is a horrible person about that. But Obama built those cages, right? Those were in place when he was in the White House. Have people stopped coming across the border? No. Did they magically just start coming across the border when Trump was in the White House? No. They've always been down there in the cages, but you didn't do any news coverage on that when that was going on down there, when Obama was in the White House. So why is it now? Right? Then the second point to be made is, when is the last time that you saw any of the major news networks, any of them at all, covering the impoverished children and families in this country? What's the difference between someone being trapped in a cage at the border, being separated from their families, not having showered for weeks, and someone not having showered for weeks in the slums because of certain circumstances, and their 13-year-old brother is a drug dealer, and they live in cockroach and rat-infested homes, and they don't have enough to eat, and they have no education, and they have no parents. What's the difference between those two situations? Not a lot, right? But when's the last time you saw any major news network cover that, right? So you can't have a double standard. You can't just play this card because election time is coming up. And that's what it's about. It's all about the elections. People have often asked me, what side do I take in this whole, children at the border thing, Republican or Democrat, which side is right? Neither side is right. Why? Because they're both using the situation, they're both exploiting the situation to win the election. Look, Republicans are using this situation by, stirring up by showing their base what's going on at the border. Look what's going on. See, we're locking up all the brown people. We're locking up all the brown people. See, we're doing our job. We're not letting anybody into the country. Make sure you re-elect us. And these evil Democrats over here, they're just trying to play cards and they're just trying to mess with your mind. They're trying to win the election for themselves, to keep themselves, the Trump-like people in the White House, right? Now, on the opposite side of that, the Democrats are also using the situation. They're also exploiting the situation to win the election by saying, look at what the evil Republicans are doing. Look at what the evil Republicans are doing. What are you doing? You haven't done anything either. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why there's not such a huge outcry, is because we've been dealing with impoverished families, completely. I mean, these people are almost homeless, and some of them are homeless. We have a homeless and hunger epidemic in this country. We've had one for 50 years. Now, how can these people stay on they sit there on these news programs and they're like, these are not the values of the American people. What's going on at the border right now proves that Trump is a racist. Trump did this and Trump did that and Trump said this and Trump said that and then he's going to do this and it proves he's a racist, he's a bigot. We get it. We know he's a racist. We get it. We know he's a bigot. But attacking one single person over a situation that has existed for many years, and on top of not addressing the issues of the American people. I mean, that's just like hypocrisy at its finest. It's like they sit there droning on all day about, what all the things that Trump is doing and all this whole situation at the border. You can't turn on the news, any news outlet at all. You cannot turn on the news without them discussing the situation at the border. Right? But I say again, when is the last time they discussed our own American citizens, right? Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, that one needs to be taken care of more than the other. Both situations need to be dealt with. But it's just, these people that sit there on these news programs and they say this isn't the value, the situation at the border proves that we're not exercising American values. How about the homeless and hunger epidemic and all the impoverished families that we've been dealing with for decades, for over the past 50 years? The border situation doesn't represent American values. How about the fact that you walk by homeless people every day on the street and you don't do or say anything about it, even though you have a platform to do so? That's the real situation at hand here. So I say again, guys, stop getting wrapped up in the world of politics. Politics, Republican or Democrat, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. They want you to react to the situations that they show on TV. They want you to have an emotional reaction because that emotional reaction wraps you around their finger. And they're just pulling in the thread and pulling in the thread and pulling in the thread until eventually you break and you vote for a Republican or you vote for a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? It's all a game, guys. It's a game. It's theater. You're watching theater. You think this news isn't planned out, man? This news is planned out, man. These people are reading scripts, guys. Wake up. Get out of the world of politics. Stop letting these major news outlets exploit the situation and exploit you to gain a political foothold, because that's all that's going on here. Nobody is saying that the border situation doesn't need to be taken care of. It does. But our own American citizens need to be taken care of too. And the fact that the news has never covered that shows how hypocritical they are, and it shows that they're just trying to exploit the situation. And I hope you guys can see it too. So there's something to think about for today, guys. As always, leave all your thoughts and opinions down below in the great wide void. See you guys back here for the next vlog very soon.